watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast.
Hola.
Mike, Dan, and if you're wondering why there's other stuff on our channel, just to briefly explain, we are a radio show. We do a 2-hour new music radio show every week, interviews with your favourite bands, and if you want to check that out after you've done a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell,
Ping, 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 ping.
We also have links to our radio show. We have a free Listen Anytime service on Mixcloud that we use, and the links below if you want to check that out. It's anything that's loosely covered by rock and metal, alternative,
Punk, emo, deathcore.
Yeah, anything really.
It can go from, obscenely nasty deathcore brutality
yep.
through to some nice, the next song will be expertly blended by yours truly.
Into pop punk or
I was going to say into some sort of like bluegrass or some, it's all new music of the alternative varieties.
We deliberately try to make sure it's not the same as you would get on an algorithm on a streaming service, because you've already got that.
Yeah, we have playlists on Spotify, but
yeah, you won't find our playlist anywhere else.
Yeah,
I mean, if you need chaos and heavy music in one place, that is our playlist, or track listing, whatever the case may be. But all of the links are below. We also have a sister channel to this one, which is called, after our radio show, Mike James Rock Show. And that's where we host all of our full interviews as well. So you can go and check out the interviews that we've recently done.
I do believe the most recent one, it would be the one that helped us get #1 in the Mixcloud charts with Ben from Blackstone Cherry, if I'm right.
Yes, I believe so. So make sure that you check that out. That's all the business done.
Before we wrap up on AOB, if you are on that channel, do check out the complete, full, unredacted, unedited interview with Chad from Newfound Glory, because it's one that I'm really proud of.
As you should be, though.
Because we go deep into cancer treatment and being on the road and life affirming, and
Chad enjoyed it so much that when the Zoom time limit on the meeting ran out, he called back and just carried on for another full Zoom meeting.
I was having a panic going, oh my God, it's just, we've lost it. And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, he's calling me? But he knew exactly what we were talking about and just picked straight up so we could edit it together
seamlessly.
So there is some redacted bits. The bits of me going, ah!
Or when he got back, like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling me back.
Yeah.
Reminds me of quite a few interviews that we had in lockdown where there was a couple of artists, and not actually the interviews. I'll do that within the window that we set. But they realised that I was just sat with nothing else to do because it was lockdown. So I'd offer everybody the same thing, as if you don't have any other press duty, you can just call back and we can have a chat. You'd be surprised who actually called back.
With Rao Reynolds from Enter Shikari, and his cat made a cameo for most of the interview. And then when it was finished, it's like, I can't remember his cat's name, but he's got his own Instagram page. So we then just carried on talking, and the cat came and got stroked through the screen. virtual hugging of cats.
And then we ended up both getting a cat, which we talked about before. My little murder nugget, we're pretty confident he's now got nearly 50 kills in the first year of being
leveling
here.
up.
He kid you not, like the amount that he brings home. But I don't know where he finds them all, because he definitely, when we first moved in, killed an entire nest of birds, which I couldn't save because I didn't know where the nest was. But he brought back a baby per day every day until he brought back the mama, and I feel so sorry for that mama bird, but that is animal life.
So you're well known for making rugs and stuff. I'm surprised you haven't started taxiderming. Or you can't turn these animals back inside once your cat's...
Leo is a little bit, especially after all of the rain. As soon as the rain abated tiny amount, and I even did a little bit of research online, and it's because he got so bored waiting for better weather that the first one he brought back is the one you're referring to. He turned the bird inside out. He was so needing to hunt, and left the beak on a different place as well. We never found the skull. It was a whole thing.
You know he's called Leo. Is that because he's like Leonardo DiCaprio when he's in The Revenant and like crawls inside a bear?
To be honest, there's a few Leo films that have done because Beach Leo as well went a little bit quirky and started hunting other people in the jungle there. God, wonder if there's a Leo film that I've actually not watched. Because I did his one on Netflix, Don't Look Up. I remember you did that as well. And we had a very good laugh about how bloody realistic that movie actually would be.
I've watched a really cool movie this week.
What do you got?
Just because it's on the Netflix, I didn't actually go to the cinema.
No, God.
Don't want to be having shared experiences with people.
Not only that, but I have not the weirdest, but my cinema phobia is that the person sat behind me is going to throw up on my head. Since a kid, that's always my panic in a cinema.
That's why you always want to sit at the back. It's not because you want to have a little gropey grope snog snog.
No,
it's more.
It's a vomit protection shield.
Yeah, just the projectionist. So nowadays, there's no projectionist. They just press play.
No. So, what did you catch?
Fall Guy.
I remember
Ryan
the advert
Gosling.
campaign for this.
It's very encapsulating.
Well, I know I was saying just before we started that if I was to watch that one again, or watch it for the first time, I am genuinely sure that I will get triggered on the things that were in the advert, because it was one of those that came up on Facebook when it first came out every 5 minutes.
But yeah, it's all about stuntmen, and it's really good.
My love for him goes up the more he does, because
Gosling?
He
hosted SNL last weekend. That's why I ended up watching it, because I watched SNL and then I was just like, oh, what films haven't I seen that he's in? And then it just popped up. It's like, this is a new release on Netflix. I'm like, sold. So it's really good.
He's got another one that's about to come out in the cinema, isn't it?
Hail Mary, which is a space film apparently.
And he makes friends with an alien, and it seems quite like cutesy and charming rather than serious sci-fi, which got no issue with a cutesy and charming.
Well, he's doing all the promo rounds of like podcasts, and a movie star of his size doesn't do our podcast, sadly. But Ryan, you're
welcome on our tiny little seat here. It's not just for our manager.
You can bring your other Canadian Ryan with them as well. And Deadpool and
I was thinking about this the other day, because we got it confused when we were talking about the movie, and remembered that Free Guy was a very, very good Ryan Reynolds movie that's proper charming.
Yes.
But it was part of a weird set of movies that I did at one point, based off of enjoying Free Guy so much. Did Ready Player One as well.
Yeah.
Sucker Punch, which isn't quite in the same thing, apart from the fact it goes to another reality and it's meant to be computer game-like, but it's actually to do with trauma. I think her manager rather enjoyed that one when I showed it to her.
Yeah.
What computer game movies? Because there's Gamer as well, if you remember that one with Jared Butler. It was a lot older ago.
Minecraft, obviously.
Minecraft movie. But yeah, I was thinking about...
One Piece, is that a game or is that just a anime? Because One Piece 2 is out now.
Yeah, so
my nephew would know straight away.
Oh, this is the funny thing is I really should know more, because this is bang in the middle of my genre. But as I said for the last couple of podcasts when we talked about what we're into at the moment, I'm still just trying to make my way through Altered Carbon.
Oh, do it. It's
I'm second season with Anthony Mackie now, rather than first season. I like the tone change away from because the first one very much focused on violence, particularly of a sexual nature. And I'm very pleased that they've toned that down for the second one, because I do find that uncomfortable to watch. And the second one's a bit more about sort of the society and weird things. It's not so much about the concept of like stack death or sleeve death compared to real death. And I'm vibing with it a lot more. So I'll probably do Fall Guy once I'm done with that, because and it's one of the times that my autism shows really, really strongly, is I really struggle if I'm in the middle of something to even watch a movie. If I'm really invested in a TV show, I've got to stay focused, because I hate missing details about things.
Well,
you know this from years of my friendship.
Fall Guy's only just come onto Netflix, so
I
it'll be there for a little bit, I think.
Well, I got a little bit of how you're saying about the rug making is I got a little bit of correction to do on the only project I have left standing at the moment. So I'm going to get restless, I think, before the next one gets bought and then probably made in about 5 minutes, because that tends to be what happens when I go a long time without
Well,
it.
it's going to be festival season, so...
Yeah, no, that'll be distracting. I also have to get the van ready as well for that.
Yeah.
But it's only just got warm enough to work on it.
We're about 10 weeks away from festival season starting.
Fortunately, I don't have to have the van ready for Slammers.
No, but that's only 2 weeks before.
That gives me 12 weeks. The thing is once, because I've let it just get a little bit stagnant on the driveway, I do need to get the engine checked out before I can actually go and buy the supplies for the next stage of building.
Okay.
So once that's done, I'm very much looking forward to my metal tent this year, because I think it's going to be the first year and 3 that I've taken it to festivals where it's actually built for purpose rather than just an empty space with a mattress in the back of it. So fingers crossed. I don't know why I did horns. Fingers crossed I'll get it done in time. Something which I was, and we got at it from different angles, because we were talking about Fall Guy and various things in preparation for this. And I said that one of the guys, in relation to what happened to his stunt double and his reaction to it.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
How much do you love him as an adult after hating him as a child?
I never watched Harry Potter or read Harry Potter until I watched the movies a couple of years back, when you do with your partner at the time.
Yeah.
And it was, I
mean, the movies have issues.
I've seen a couple of his post-Potter movies, and they're quite good. The one where is it Akimbo?
Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
So good. When he's got the gun strapped, bolted to his hands.
Yeah.
What I love about him, though, is that he, is one of my sort of sober inspirations, because he had a very private battle with alcoholism whilst he was doing the Harry Potter, came out the other side pretty much as the film's finished, and when...
By the time he's old enough to drink.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, a bit like Jack Osborne.
Yeah, or Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the fact that he went, right, I don't need to live the big lifestyle and spend all of my money. If I don't do that, and I'm not drinking, I'm not partying, I can literally choose to do whatever project I want to do, rather than the pressure that, because we talked about McConaughey saying about the rom-com pressure that he had to get away from. We know that, what's his name? Channing Tatum, he got that 3-movie deal pressure from somebody else. Bruce
Magic
Willis.
Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bruce Willis had it back in the day where he had to do 3 movies under contract. And I love the fact that Daniel Radcliffe just went, I have enough money, I don't do like the party scene. And I saw in one interview, it's like, the hilarious thing when people are like, why don't you keep up with like the Hollywood party life? And he went, I'm Harry Potter. He's like, I walk into an audition, nobody doesn't know who I am these days. And he also said it in relation to getting laid. He was like, it's not fun for me, because he's like, I'm Harry Potter. He's like, easiest thing in the world for a certain period of his life.
Yeah.
But it kept him away from more destructive things.
He did a horror film.
Which one was that? Is that The Girl in Black? Or is that not considered a horror movie?
Women in Black.
Women in Black, sorry, yes.
I think, it's definitely dark and grey. I think it's more of a psychological horror than...
Yeah. What was the one that you were thinking of?
Yeah, is that that one?
It was that one. So I know he did that prison
I think our
one.
manager got it. Was it The Woman in Black?
Women in Black, yeah.
What's the prison one like? It begins with P, I think. We're asking the manager off screen, but...
Just IMDbing.
Yeah. But I also love the fact that when he goes on chat shows as well, he can rap.
He can.
Like, who would have thought that Harry Potter can rap?
Is that the alphabet rap as
Yes.
well? Yeah.
And his pace, timing, everything. You know when...
Spitting bars.
Well, you know when somebody that says they can rap, and then you're watching them and they're just running out of breath, they're gassing themselves, they can't get through the thing well.
I'm very versed in the art
raps.
form of hip hop.
But the fact that he slayed every line was just like, okay, you've practiced that over and over again.
I found out the other day, you know Ed Sheeran?
Yes.
He managed to get over the fact that he stutters as a child by listening to Eminem and emulating Eminem. And he told Eminem this to his face kind of thing. It's like, I did all this. And then they collabed and Eminem just popped up on one of Ed Sheeran's shows in his hometown in Detroit. It's like, I'm going to bring someone out on stage and up pops Marshall, and it's just like, this is the guy that kind of like got me over from stuttering. It's like Queen's Speech, but hip hop style.
A bit like Oliver Sykes saying that, if you look at the footage closely enough of a certain headline performance in Linkin Park at Download, before Bring Me the Horizon were a thing, you can see Ollie Sykes at the front row watching Linkin Park, and then he performs at the tribute gig on the song that he's seen in the crowd on. Nice little full circle moment. However,
Nice.
I've got a nice, interesting cross-blended fact of Eminem, a movie we've watched, and wrestling. Because I was watching Chris on Insight the other day, had MJF, obviously Harry Potter 2, Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
He's one of the sons.
Eminem's in that.
Apparently that's the only time of recent years that MJF has even been slightly starstruck. Because that boy's confidence is, like, up there. He has the chance of being as big as The Rock is in everything that he does.
Yeah.
Because The Rock's always had that boundless confidence. But I found it interesting that...
You got Eminem and Bad Bunny was in that film, which is like...
But apparently Bad Bunny didn't do it because he wasn't that worried because Bad Bunny's done wrestling, and he's like, but Eminem, he's like, when you...
It's another next level.
Yeah, and he's like, and when you're like there, and like, he's like, you can't understand what Eminem is like in person until you meet him. He's like, it is literally like he doesn't know how famous he is, whilst also understanding exactly how famous he is and trying to avoid being an ass about it. And I just keep hearing such awesome things about how Eminem actually is, rather than the way that people think that he is. Yeah. Because his on-stage presence, as it should be, when you can do rap
is Eminem.
Yeah.
Off stage, he's Marshall.
Exactly.
Or Daddy, or even Granddad now.
I know, it's crazy. But I thought that was lovely. It also gave me a little segue into the old wrestling, because...
I see what you did there. You shoehorned in a bit of the old slap and tickle.
Have you got the Daniel Radcliffe movie?
Are you saying a prison one?
Yeah.
Escape from Pretoria?
Escape from Pretoria. It's the one, unfortunately, the kind of interview I watched kind of told me most of what the movie was like. So when I watched the movie, it did lose some of the impact.
Yeah,
but I would fully recommend that one if you're looking for something a bit left of centre, a bit Shawshank Redemption-y. It's down that line because it's all about an escape from a prison not in our era. But it's his acting that makes the project
everyone
work.
goes on about Shawshank being one of the greatest movies ever kind of thing. But I was just so bored watching it.
See, I've always liked Shawshank. I hold my hands up and say I do love that movie.
It's a good film, but I wouldn't have put it in my top 10 of all-time greatest films ever.
Do you think that people put it in their top 10, though, to appear like they're sophisticated? Because I think that was partly what you had to... You had to watch Shawshank, you had to understand Shawshank, because there was a couple of things that are a bit different about it than other movies, because I did a little bit of looking into it when I first watched it, because I loved it, is not a lot of movies would cover the time span of being in the prison, that, like, when he's getting attacked by the sisters, and he went, and that was Andy's way of life for the first 3 years. And suddenly 3 years has passed.
Yeah.
And then they age all the actors up as the movie goes on. It's not... He goes into prison, he finds a clever way out, he gets out. There was longevity in that, and that was not a big thing at that time. It's a bit like Interstellar.
Oh.
When they do the going down to the planet of just water, and it's got the ticking in the background to show you how much time's passing.
Yep.
Normally, sci-fi gives you an out, and we'll get back out, it'll be fine. No, they come back out 23 years later, and the guy that they left behind, like, his hands have got arthritis, and like... that really rammed home how different that movie was compared to everything else. But the wrestling stuff. So, bad point first.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly. So I'll handle being the ugly as the wrestling fan. But the bad for me, because I liked Drew on the title. I like the idea of Drew versus Randy. And then Randy taking off Drew so he can go be a Highlander. I also think, and this is just my personal opinion, and my manager's as well, is we don't think that Cody's particularly happy at getting put back on the title the way that he was. We've seen on Unreal that he's complained about basic storytelling before and that we can do better for the fans. Also, compared to the 2 other times we've watched Cody get that title and how much of it like finish the story or get it back off Cena, what a big moment it was. It was like, it felt very much like a, there you go.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes it. I think he will do it because one thing which I've seen in a lot of interviews with Cody that he does is he's trying to be behind the scenes John Cena, which is not a bad thing. That's not him being like a bad version of himself. The thing that everybody, particularly Paul Heyman in a lot of interviews says, John Cena will accept anything that's given to him by directive and tell them that he'll make the best job of it. So he could plan for a 45-minute Iron Man match, spend weeks planning for it. On the day, sorry, we've had to cut it for time. You're going to get squashed in 30 seconds. John Cena is one of the only wrestlers, apparently, that would just go, cool, I'll sell the shit out of that in that case.
Yeah.
I reckon...
That's just professionalism, isn't it?
Not necessarily for everybody, Jay Cargill. I'm saying it. It's all over the internet. But I think Cody...
Oh, no, that's Sports Illustrated.
I think Cody, behind the scenes, as the person, not the on-stage presence, I don't think he wanted the title. And I think that he only did it because creative said that you need to do this. Calm it down. You need to do this. We need you on the title. And Cody trying to step into those shoes of going, if the company needs me to do something, I do it, no question.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that drives me absolutely loopy about online opinions, particularly on the Facebook pages...
Not that we're giving an online opinion,
We're not a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page.
We do, but it's not just wrestling, where we only post up statuses that are clearly trying to wind everybody up. I hate the current thing where they make it seem like wrestlers have choice over whether they go back. Like, Cody has to be on the main event. His ego won't let him not be the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, look at Jey Uso when there was that incident and all of a sudden he's in the Elimination Chamber and he was just looking around going like,
I don't want this.
I don't want this. What the hell has happened? It's got the most dislikes, but then... like.
There was a storyline fix.
Yeah, they had to think on their feet and...
Somebody had to win the match. You can't just stop a match because one of the 3 gets injured. Somebody has to win.
By the time SmackDown started, 3 days later, and everyone, he was beat up in the back of an ambulance.
Yeah.
It's just like... So that's how they get around it.
And I'm wondering a couple of things. One... did they just give Cody an extra number because he's now a 3-time world champion rather than 2? And that they've done that with Cena because back in the day, before we had this run of Cena's retirement tour, most of his 17 were less time on the title than the time he spent as champion on his retirement tour. So John Cena would have sometimes sense. For 24 hours and then drop it to somebody else. Now I'm wondering... is this a bit of clever messing around with the audience, baiting the Facebook pages into like baying for Cody's blood, making sure the YouTube is the most disliked thing ever and all this sort of jazz? Are they doing it so that they can sell a more interesting storyline of Cody, turning heel, doing something different? I don't see why they would put the title on him on SmackDown when they've had such prestige of when that's moved across recently. He's one of only 6 people to ever win it on SmackDown. So they normally move it at a PLE. Whether or not it's going to Randy, but there's going to be something very interesting that happens between now and the road to WrestleMania. You call possibly a 3-way with Jacob Fatu, but I don't see how Randy fits into that.
Well, I think Randy will win the title Mania, so that then that raises him up for the amount of wins he's had.
Because he'll go 15-time world title holder and like something like 17-time general title holder.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult to believably put the title on him another 3 times to get him to beat John Cena's record.
No, but to be fair,
15 is
he's
great.
Also an older guy now, so he probably hasn't got that long left before he starts mentioning, I'll be, this is my last contract, or I'll be retiring at this point, like AJ Styles, and even Punk has said, this
probably my last,
probably going to be my last full run at this kind of thing.
Well, he's also like, you can argue with him whether he is the best in the world or not, but he stepped up went on championship duty with less preparation because it was meant to stay on Seth a bit longer, stepped up and then went, cool, I'll fight championship matches. I'll be the main event pool over and over and over again, that whole fighting champion thing.
Yeah.
He was turning up everywhere. He was walking out on every single Raw stage that he could. He is actually, when it comes to not just in ring, but how he conducts himself when he's got a belt on him, the amount that he's raised up Finn, we'll talk about that in a minute, because there's obviously some stuff going on there.
But also, CM Punk is the face of the new game as well.
Basically, if you had a list of things that CM Punk wanted for the 10 years he was away from the WWE, there's not much left to tick off on that list.
No.
Going back to Cody, though, there's one thing which one of the more interesting and less negative Facebook pages commented on, which I really enjoyed, and it was the difference between how Cody and Sami interacted up until this SmackDown, where Cody would always be, you know, generous with his time and there to guide and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly we're seeing a very frustrated, not championship Cody just before they put the title on him. That's all planned. But also, you talk about a little bit of, you know, screwing around with between now and Mania. Are we going to see maybe a little sprinkling of a Sami Zayn heel turn?
I think so.
And because I still don't think they know who they want to put the attack on of Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso. They've left that so open so that when it works in a storyline, they can go, oh, it was this person. But it could work well for Sami.
What, as the attacker?
Possibly of Jacob Fatu. Not of Jey, because the wrong brand, he wasn't on Raw at the time. But maybe they could shoehorn in that Sami is so wound up by his own earnestness, his own trying to be a good guy, that because every time that he tries to be a good guy, he then rages out and hits something nearby.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times now.
And I would
speculation.
I would like Sami to, because the earnest thing was great whilst it was great, but then it got old quick, and I didn't need him coming out to the ring. Because if he did something different, because Sami is definitely talented enough to do something different, I would be there for it. But it was too many times of coming out and going, oh, I love you, and like, let's be friends, and let's do this the proper way. Great. For the longest time, that was fantastic. But Kevin Owens got interesting by doing that weird incel heel run, which I think Sami Zayn's echoing. Because Sami sat there, like, asking the real questions, like, how can you lose the chamber? And then, you know, you just get a title shot. And Kevin was asking the same things in storyline. Drew's done the same thing, where Drew kept going, how can Cody get away with a ref bump, you know, doing crossroads onto a chair, but he's not the cheater I am.
Yeah.
Sami's got some of the points that he's making, very Kevin Owens heel, very Drew McIntyre heel. And if Drew, who looks like he's bulking up to be Highlander massively at the moment,
well,
obviously.
After Mania, he's literally off.
Whether he actually had the commitments to get to Mania, he might need to be going off and getting ready for the film role before Mania, and that could be one of the many reasons for the title change. But it's more just the fact that Sami is now starting to echo all of those like sort of weird, crazy promos that the other ones did. And we don't have Kevin Owens back after the neck injury. Still want him to get better and come back for another big run. Drew's out. That's another major heel that's no longer on the books. And I think what they're trying to do is going, is it Cody going to go heel? Is it Sami going to go heel? Are they both going to go heel and Randy stays face? Because Randy is, most of the time, won his main championships, being the Viper, which is generally a heel character, rather than just being Randy Orton.
And then you've got Finn Balor that's now been kicked out of the Judgment Day.
How good was that?
It was really good timing.
And just really well done
JD.
as well. Yeah. Really well done. Because there was part of me that had to remind myself watching it, I'm not actually watching Finn getting bullied. But it did look like he was getting bullied. And that's perfect, because they can fill up the rest of the time between here and Mania having interactions, JD and Dom versus Finn. Finn can build some new friendships now he's out.
It'll be Dom and Finn at Mania, won't it? That'll be
I reckon
on
so.
the cards.
And this is a great example of a feud that doesn't need a title on it, because just the history is most certainly good enough. So I'm quite interested to see the Prince of the Face come back. I quite happily see the Prince of the Face do a long feud with Cody, do a long feud with Roman. I've said for the last few months on this podcast that Judgment Day either needed to split or Finn needed to be the one that left. Because Judgment Day works for JD, it gives him something to do. Because JD is fantastic as a background character. That's not me doing a Michael Hayes and saying that's all he can do. I'm just saying that for where he's at with the injuries that he's picked up, it's been a really safe place to keep screen time.
Well, he fills in and becomes Dom's
Sort of
right
boy.
man. Yeah.
Dom is the one that raises up Judgment Day because he's the one that's got his own chant or own song in the tune of Roman Reigns. I do think that Liv needs to also leave Judgment Day at some point.
Well, she'll become champion beating Stephanie Vaquero.
And I can see a little bit of a Raquel versus Liv. They still left it unresolved from Rumble where she eliminated her. There's some really good stuff to dig into there. But this also just leads me slightly away, but an interesting point. At the moment, when we get to our predictions, we've called that every world title is changing hands. Because we're saying that Stephanie's going to give it to Liv.
Yep.
Jade's going to give it to Rhea.
Yep.
Roman's going to take it off of CM Punk. And that Cody's going to drop it to Randy Orton.
Makes sense.
Now, everything in my head from before...
Maybe not Roman, because he just doesn't show up enough. I can't see him being on every single TV show.
That's because you happen to start watching at the point that he stopped doing that. Don't forget, he was double champion for most of his run.
Yeah.
Turning up on both Raw and SmackDown as the champion.
We'll see how they get on with more promo, but I'm in two minds between CM and Roman at the moment.
I still think that there's...
Still got 4 weeks.
I think that Roman's probably either going to take it off of Punk, or it's going to be some type of, messing around that stops him getting it, and then maybe they drop it to Roman at SummerSlam and keep the feud going a bit longer. Or they could chuck the cat amongst the pigeons massively, because, like I say, everything in my head says that you don't change all 4 world titles at Mania. But are they then going to change all 4 titles at Mania because they're trying to, outsmart somebody like me that thinks that I understand the game? Shout out to Ollie. I get that I don't understand a lot of this and that you hate the way I announce things. But yeah, everything in my head says that no, you have to keep one title on one person. But then again, the strength of the people coming through. Liv's a good title holder, she always was.
Yeah.
Rhea's a stunning title holder. We have Roman, who's one of the longest title holders ever, and Randy Orton. Like, those are 4 good people to drop a title onto all at the same time. None of them are first-time champions. They're all returning champions.
Yeah.
And so that's a potential.
Or Danhausen could put a curse on all of them. He's so good.
I mean,
so good.
One thing made me giggle. I'm not sure that you would know offhand. Do you know the wrestler Sting?
Yeah.
So there's
message in a bottle from the police.
So there's like an online poll that I saw. How likely do you think it is that R-Truth is going to call Danhausen Sting?
Because of the makeup look.
Yeah, though, I got to be honest, I hated Elimination Chamber. It felt anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But I am living for every second that Danhausen is on screen since that point, because he is genuinely funny.
It's where the first promo we cut, and he was like, "Oh, I much prefer you without hair."
Yes.
Getting the the two GMs mixed up.
Perfect.
It's just like-
And Miss Arian as well.
Yeah.
Just, it's so good. And on social media as well, like asking for things like, I need to be in the Hall of Fame this year. How do
Yeah.
I make it happen? Can we get Sabrina Carpenter to do my entrance at WrestleMania? Who's going to tell me who I'm facing in the main event of WrestleMania? It's like R-Truth was before all of that weirdness that came out on Unreal where he had to get his
Yeah.
contract back. R-Truth used to be like the mainstay funny guy, like turning up to the Rumble and putting a ladder in the middle of the ring, forgetting that it wasn't Money in the Bank. So it goes up the ladder to grab the thing in the middle of the Rumble.
There's nothing there.
And there's nothing there. Or one time he came out on the Women's Rumble.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, and I can see that same charm with Danhausen.
Well, it's the way you get like on Raw, like the last Raw.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's like, "Oh, t-shirts for everyone," and then lobbed a complete bundle of t-shirts of one person. It's like, give them out to wherever you want.
And I love the bit afterwards because he's like, those who didn't get them, WWE saw, and I thought it was very clever. Sell them out. Not that there's a free thing online.
But his t-shirts are now the fastest selling t-shirts that are there at the store.
Because funny in WWE, and actually funny, not contrived, badly written funny.
Do you also
works.
think that he looks a bit like Will from Creeper?
Yes. Or
Or any member of Creeper. But
Oh, I was going to say, was it Vince from Defiled?
Yeah.
Had a very similar look to him at one point. The backing members that we met in the bin store of, because it wasn't Chris from Motionless that we did in the bin store, it was the guitarists.
yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, but similar to what makeup they had at that time, because that was the era where they had to put the makeup on to walk from the bus.
To the
And
the bin cupboard.
And I bet Danhausen is the same, as he has to, put the makeup on.
Oh, he's done podcasts without the makeup.
No, but outside.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For meet and greets.
Yeah, although...
It's like Undertaker always had to have his hat and his eyeliner and stuff on, didn't he?
But Undertaker is one of the most interesting guys at maintaining kayfabe, because if you watch his podcast, even though he's not an active wrestler anymore, and even though the whole point is to talk about everything from his career, he still really struggles to break kayfabe, and it's fucking brilliant. Because he just sat there, it's like, oh, Undertaker.
He's indoctrinated.
Yeah, but it was partly that level of commitment to selling the brand of The Undertaker and the WWE, WWF, whichever it was at the time, that made his career what it was. And I think sometimes, and it's like we were talking about Obafemi, is Obafemi needs to keep being sold the way that he is.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you give a cheap win over Oba to somebody else, the aura is gone. But... And Oba, if you're watching this, don't take offense. I did not like his promo against Cody Rhodes when they did NXT champion versus WWE champion. It just didn't interest me.
But what, Oba's longest televised match so far?
On the main roster, yeah. However...
Before he fully joined.
Yeah, everything that Oba's done since then when he's on screen, he is funny, man. Like, it's like watching Brock Lesnar, who can actually be funny on the mic. Because Brock Lesnar does have a sense of humour, but the reason why...
He's back on Raw next week.
Yes. The reason why he doesn't talk very much is because, by his own admission, he's like, I just stumble over my words. People aren't going to enjoy my promos because he's like... And I think it was in a podcast...
That's why he's got Heyman.
Exactly. But he's like,
Or
look
will
at me.
he have on Monday?
Ooh. But he's like, look at me. I'm just a big guy. I think I use my brain power to be safe in the ring, build muscle, be the beast. He's like, hence why they gave me Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
But Paul Heyman, what I find really interesting about these relationships is they're not just on-screen promo stuff. He does actually manage people to a much better point of their career. Because that whole island of irrelevancy that he picked Roman Reigns up from and turned him into the OTC, that's actually true. Is Paul Heyman saw what Roman Reigns could be.
Well, he's part of creative, isn't he, Paul Heyman?
But he also saw what Roman could be and then coached him to being the OTC. Look at the effect that he had on, I think the one that shows it the most is Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, under the tutelage of Seth And Paul Heyman, with Braun being a brother in arms, Logan being a brother in arms, suddenly you saw the confidence of Bronson Reed go, right, well, I'm actually going to get slim or slimmer. I'm going to run around the ring like a lunatic, like I've never been able to before. And just watching the confidence come out in him as he was doing it, that's why the bicep injury, that hurt my heart a little bit, because I was really enjoying Bronson Reed's push. Same with Bron Breakker, is I have nothing but time to watch that man on screen because he just sells things so well. Though, did you catch what I caught on the women's match? On the women's match, where Lyra comes in to defend Bayley, but she did it so perfectly timing-wise that the camera's on the ring, and all you see is Lyra coming in feet first to dropkick the person. I was like, that's just so well choreographed, because all you see is her feet coming in, but you don't see the jump. And they did the same with Braun a few times, where he would jump at the almost camera blindness point, so it made his spears look even more huge because he would dive into shot.
It's all about angles.
Exactly. So that
You'll learn that when you watch Fall Guy. Oh, look, I brought it all the way round again.
The only other thing I was going to say, and I don't have much to say about it, apart from I really enjoyed it as the finishing promo, but Jimmy and Jay actually doing slightly different promo work than anything they've done recently, and not taking any crap from CM Punk, and going, no matter what you say, like, we're still angry with you. And then there was no way that they could have both the Usos in a ring against one person and the Usos not come out on top. So hence why wearing my Yeet t-shirt, because I actually really enjoyed that promo. And I agree with what the manager says, is Jimmy's also clearly having a lot of fun at the moment, and enjoying working with Jay again, with how much Jay's singles run has changed their position as a tag team.
Yeah.
Put them in the ability to have a main event promo with CM at the end of Raw.
But
and
Jay will be off. Jimmy will be off soon, because surely he'll get some paternity leave.
Daddy Uso.
Daddy Uso.
Daddy Uso.
Bloodline continues.
Next gen. You say that like Roman doesn't have 6 kids. Jay doesn't have 7, I think. It's just the fact that Jimmy didn't have a kid. The bloodline. I mean, Jacob Fatu has got a bunch as well. I'm pretty sure the other Tammers in the MFTs have also got we are going to be at WrestleMania 2000, and there's still going to be a bloodline.
2000?
Yeah.
We're going backwards, are we?
No. We're on
3000.
WrestleMania 42.
Oh, sorry.
I'm saying WrestleMania 2000, and there's still going to be a bloodline angle.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a bloodline. But what I'm having stuff like that, one, it created Cody Rhodes. That's why his entrance music is wrestling has more than one royal family. But it's also by having families like that they can draw upon. That's when you do also get the opposite effect of it creates a Joe Hendry, a John Cena, a Finn Balor, is people coming in and realizing that they have to go up against these families that have been training people from youth to be there. Don't create hunger in other people.
Of course.
Though what will be a very entertaining one is we're still going to have whatever youngest Mysterio there is claiming to be the best Mysterio in the world as well. It'll be like Dom's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson. I'm the best Mysterio there ever was. And it's still going to be a thing because they're clearly never dropping that. But I saw one of those like start and end things. So what Finn did on his first and end day, where they took out Edge / Adam Copeland as he is in AEW. But one of the funniest ones is Finn the Judgment Day has been around for this long. They showed the picture of Dom and then no facial hair, short mullet, very, very short mullet at the start of Finn's time to what he looked like when he kicked him out. And they're like, that's how long the Judgment Day's actually been a thing. And I think it's great. I want to watch Finn get better and better because I don't know if you realise his title run was that shoulder dislocation thing. So he lost it 24 hours after he got it when he was meant to hold it for a while because he just was too injured to carry on. So in the same way that they gave Drew all of the moments that he missed in lockdown, like winning in front of a crowd, he got that first, and then Damian Priest obviously took it off of him straight away. Then they gave it to him again and gave him a longer title run and actually got him to walk into stadiums full of people. Love that. That's how you keep somebody loyal. I reckon that Finn is going to be one of those guys alongside your Bron Breakker, your Bronson Reed, your Dom Mysterio, like Trick Williams, Obafemi, Javon Evans. All of these guys, they're going to be soon the main roster that we forget about when Roman was part of the company, when Seth was part of the company.
Yeah, that's why it's NXT.
Yeah, and then it's going to be the same as like where 10 years ago, I think it was, when I watched more Seth break up the Shield of Roman, him and Dean Ambrose, is we're going to be watching storylines relating back to the things that we've seen happen in real time now.
Yeah.
And they're going to last for years. So getting kicked out the Judgment Day the way that he did, that's never going to be forgotten as part of a storyline. There's always going to be now Finn versus Dom. Like, do it for immediate sake, because obviously he's just been kicked out. Leave it a couple of years and then bring it back again where Finn's on the title. Dom gets really jealous of his old stablemate having the world title. And that's how Dom gets on the world title, because Finn is there and Dom gets jealous. There's so many different ways that you can do it. But what's really weird is remembering sometimes you are watching things that will be referred back to for years without realising that's happening. Because that's what it was for The Shield when it broke up for me. So I was like, oh, cool. I'd only been watching about 6 months at the point it happened. I was like, oh, cool, they've broken up The Shield. I guess that's kind of cool. And then every wrestling fan I knew was like, you don't understand how big this is. I'm like, nah, they'll get back together. Never have. I don't think John Moxley, who is the real name of Dean Ambrose, I don't think he ever wants to come back to WWE. He's definitely, like MJF, found his home in AEW. But we still might see stuff like that come back from things that we're watching now. A bit like we always say with music. You never know which, £12 ticket in your 200 cap venue you're going to suddenly see in 2 years headlining somewhere. Because we think about some of the ones that in our hometown. We've had Ask Alexandria pre-Danny Warsnop and pre-Fame. We had Dragon Force shredding over the top of the fretboard like 2 months before Inhuman Rampage came out, and they got big.
Coldplay in the Cavern.
Coldplay in the Cavern.
Muse in the Cavern.
I was going to say your connection with Muse as well. And that's just 4. Like, there's been far more. I mean, we've had it where...
I've got another one for you.
Ooh.
Lamb of God in the Cavern, which is it's not even 200 cap venue.
It's a lot less if they don't take out the tables and chairs, yes.
Yeah. Lamb of God played there on their first UK tour.
Yeah, I don't think... Because I remember it wasn't Cavern, but I did see Trivium in Exeter the last time that they were ever in Exeter.
Yeah.
It was the Great Hall, which is a bit bigger.
It's still 2,000 cap.
It's still not big. But it's things like... I'm pretty confident that we either went to it and left before they came on stage. It wasn't our hometown, but do you remember, this is like 15 to 20 years ago, Bring Me the Horizon in Plymouth, White Rabbit, and I think we went down to interview one of the support bands, but at that point we hated that era of Bring Me the Horizon, refused to play them on air. This was long before they became what they are now.
Don't think that was me.
No, it's so long ago. I know that I left before Bring Me the Horizon came on stage. I wouldn't have travelled to Plymouth for a band that I didn't like. No, we did. It was a support interview. So we were there not for them, but for the tour package and getting something like that. Ring a bell. It must have been me taking somebody else with me. Because I remember going, I can't be bothered to watch. Was it Ghost Inside? Because that was someone else you took down. Yeah, maybe. It was very, very early days. But think about the first gig that we did interviews together at, because that particular gig was pretty interesting for who got famous afterwards. Yeah, we've mentioned it a few times on the pod, haven't we? It's just Glamour of the Kill. Yeah. When they were still metal rather than glam metal, even though they're called Glamour of the Kill. Well, they're back now. Yeah, Heart of a Coward in its most original lineup with Timothy James and Jamie Graham. But the breakout superstars of that has to be Sabaton.
Oh, of course.
And I still remember them getting so shocked that there were the most hardcore dedicated fans cheering them on that they lost all stage presence of looking angry and just started smiling the whole time. Because can you imagine being in another country where you're really not expecting to meet some of the most die-hard fans that you have?
Yeah.
And then suddenly there's like a group of 20 lads at the front. No matter what Sabaton did, no matter what they played, they were cheering absolutely everything. And that's going to last for them. Now that Sabaton are as huge as they are, that's always going to be a memory. So, watch your shows. Go to live shows of bands that you're interested in, even if you don't think they're necessarily going to go anywhere, or if your mates tell you they're not going to go anywhere. Because we've definitely seen some pretty awesome stuff, like the fact they've seen Asking Alexandria pre-Danny Warsnop, but with Ben Bruce, playing nothing off of Stand Up and Scream, but it was still Asking Alexandria.
Yeah.
That's a fun story, and I'm never going to forget that gig because that was the hub. So that was what, like 60 to 100 people cap? Really,
Yeah, roughly.
really wasn't a big venue. And I would have
Not
told
even there now.
No, I would have told you watching that gig that they were going nowhere. It's the power of Danny Warsnop, because he did really accelerate that band to somewhere else.
And decelerate them.
Yeah, a little bit. That's why we do love our modern life Motley Crue, because they had just as messy a lineup change and things going wrong for them as Motley Crue did, in fairness. Anyways, that's pretty much everything that we covered, catching up on all the things that have happened in the last week. Just a reminder that you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, find out our other shows. Come check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check out our other YouTube channel. We don't just post the same clips over and over. There is different things per network, because we get that it's a bit cringe when it's just the same clip going out on every single network. And you know who you are. You know, those pages reusing your footage. Ugh. But yeah, we'll probably now see you next week. Take it easy.